Dr. V. Premalata. She pursued her undergraduate in BSc Biology at the University of Madras. She then went on to do her teaching degree in the University of Madras. Taking a keen interest in Sanskrit, she then studied Masters in Sanskrit with Karnataka Open University. She pursued her MPhil, which was on Gorakshanata's Amanask Yoga, which is a unique treatise that explains yoga, which is benefit of mind. She continued her studies with a doctorate in Sthala Vrakshas in the Puranas, a biosocial study. Her focus on research is mainly in different fields of biological science from ancient Sanskrit treatises.
So, Swagatam. Welcome to UGC lecture series in Sanskritam. We are now continuing with Kopartham Bhumi Pariksha. Before going into the subject, let me tell you a story today. This is from Brahmanda Purana, the episode of Pippalada. When sage Dadichi gave away his backbone for Vajrayudha, he had to sacrifice his life. His wife was pregnant at the time and she was in deep sorrow. She did not want to live in this world after the demise of her husband. So, in order to save the child but rejoin the husband in the netherworld, what she did was she took the fetus and placed it under an Ashwatha tree. Ashwatha is also known as Pippala, it is a synonym of Ashwatha. Then the Ashwatha tree took care of the fetus and it became a beautiful baby and then a boy, and he was called Pippalada since the Pippala trees or the Ashwatha trees looked after him. The Pippala tree is his foster mother. Then when he grew up into a handsome lad, he wanted to leave the trees and explore the world. At that time, the foster mother, the Ashwatha, told him about what happened to his father and mother and how the mother gave the fetus to Ashwatha tree. So, from this we know that plants can communicate with the humans if they can take care of the fetus, bring him up with milk, because Ashwatha is a Kshira tree, milk exuding tree. Pippalada was fed with the milk of Ashwatha. So, what J.C. Bose experimented and proved that the trees can communicate and the trees have sentience is quite true. So, we come across such anecdotes from the Puranas. So, from sentience we are coming back to Kopartham Bhumi Pariksha, and here we are in a treasure hunt. You remember the last episode I told you that we are going in for a treasure hunt, and the treasure here is water, veritably so, because in a desert water is life saving. So, the contents for today's episode are the presence of trees, anthill, animals like frog, snake, scorpion. How do they denote the presence of water? Then the springs can be of varied intensity and the quality of water can be frothy, very tasty, etc. And the various species of trees that are grown near an anthill make a colorful display in this episode. Now, let us see. Now, we come to the anthill and a beautiful Kadamba tree near it.
Sarpavasaha paschadyada kadambasya dakshinena jalam purato hasta tritayat shadbihi purushaihi turiyonaihi.
So, here to the west of a Kadamba tree, if an anthill is seen towards the south, in the south direction, copious water can be found in the front of the anthill at 3 hasta distance and at 27 cubits depth. So, a Kadamba tree near the anthill signifies the presence of water. The next verse conveys that Sa Sharkarabha to Mahi Kashayam Ksharam Daridhri Kapila Karoti Apandurayam Lavanam Pratishtamishtam Payo Neela Vasundharayam. The gritty and brownish land has water that tastes salty and pungent. Now, you can observe the quality of water. Here the author says, if the land is gritty and brownish, the quality of water will be salty, there will be lavanam in that, and pungent, kashayam, ksharam. When the land is bluish, the water is sweet tasting. So, the Neela Varna denotes a sweet tasting spring, and the soil having a pale color throughout contains salty water. The pale color of the soil denotes the presence of salty water. So, you have different varieties of water and the color of the soil denoting it in this verse. Valmika samvrito yadi talo va bhavati nalikeri va paschat षड्भिः हस्तैः नरैः चतुर्भिः shirayasya. If a palm tree or a coconut tree is surrounded by an anthill to its west at 6 hands distance, at the depth of 24 cubits length, a spring could exist. So, you see palm trees and coconut trees in a desert, and the presence of these trees certainly denotes the presence of water there. Now, we come to Ashmataka. Ashmatakasya vame badari va drishyate ahinilayah va षड्भिः उदग् asya karaihi sa ardhe purushatraye toyam. To the left of an Ashmataka tree, Ashmataka is oxalis. If a badari tree or ant hill, Ahinilaya is ant hill is seen at 6 arms distance at 18 feet approximately, water can be found. So, now we go to Ashmataka. This is the beautiful picture of the Ashmataka plant with yellow flowers. If you sight this plant anywhere in a desert, then you will know that there is water definitely. So, now we come to the animal kingdom. Let us see which animal it is.
कूर्मः प्रथमे पुरुषे पाषाणो धूसरः ससिकतामृद् आदौ शिरा च याम्यां पूर्वोत्तरतः द्वितीया च.
At 6 feet, if one finds a tortoise, grey colored rocks and sandy soil, springs can be found primarily on the southern direction. As you all know, you have come across these Vastu terms. Yamya denotes the southern direction and in the northeastern direction. So, both springs can be found primarily southern direction and in the northeastern direction. If you find a tortoise and grey colored rocks with sandy soil, this is the Kurma. Kurma is the tortoise. You have come across Kurma avatara. Vishnu is one of the avatars. Kurma denotes tortoise, and this is a desert tortoise. So, we come to a place where there is no water at all, and it is a very arid and very barren land. Jala rahite yadi deshe chinnani anupajani drishyante virana durva harita yatra hi tasmin jalam purushe. In a place devoid of water, surrounded by arid barren land, there is no sign of any vegetation at all. If one comes across virana, fresh durva grass in 6 cubits feet depth, water is available. Virana is nothing but ushira, that is an aromatic grass. You have come across this in many episodes the past. So, let us take a look at the durva grass. Look at the leaves arranged on the axis. It is quite different from the normal grass. So, that is how you pick up durva grass. Then you see the virana or it is also called vetivira grass. It is an aromatic grass full of fragrance. So, these grasses are found in a place where there is water. Then we come to lots of species of trees in this verse. Tilaka, Amrataka, Varunaka, Bhallataka, Bilva, Tinduka, Ankolaha, Pindira, Shirisha, Anjana, Parushaka, Vanjula, Atibalaha. Etaihi yadi susnigdaihi valmikaihi parivrita tatah toyam hastai stribihi उत्तरतः चतुर्भिः अर्धेन च नरस्य. So Tilaka, the country synonym, Amrataka Spondius, Varunaka Kratavira, Ballataka Semicarpus, Bilva Tinduka Ankola Pindira Sirisha Anjana Parushaka Gravia, Vanjula Atibala. Atibala is nothing but Abutilon indicum, a very common plant. If all these trees are surrounded by smooth ant hills, the surface of the ant hill should be very smooth, then there will be water at a 3 hasta distance north of it at a depth of approximately 12 feet. So, let us see one by one all these trees. You have come across some of the trees in the previous episodes. So, it is not being repeated here. Now, we come to Atibala, one with the yellow flowers or Atibala, then Parushaka, look at the Parushaka fruits, then Varuna and Amrataka. Amrataka you can make pickles or use it in your cuisine, and all these trees denote the presence of water along with a very smooth Valmika or ant hill. We come to Trina next.
Atrine satrina yasmin satrine trinavarjita mahi yatra tasmin shira pradishta vaktavyam va dhanam tatra.
Dhanam here does not mean a lot of money or a lot of jewelry or gold or anything like that. Dhanam here means water, because water is precious than any of these. In a grassless region, when grass is found growing, or in a place where grass was previously grown and now barren, there spring is sure to be present, which could very well be deemed as a treasure. So, Atrine Satrina yasmin satrine trina, where there is grass and now there is no grass, and then if it is entirely grassless, so spring is sure to be present, because otherwise grass would not have existed or grass cannot exist now. Kantaki akantakanam vyatyasat ambaha tribihi karaihi paschat khatva purushatritayam tribhagayuktam dhanam va syat. To the thorny and those devoid of thorns, either it is a Kantaki tree or there is no thorn, akantakanam, or the reverse of it. In 3 kara distance, water should be present, for which 3 purusha depth should be dug. There could be 3 times the treasured water found there. Lots of water, copious water can be got when there is Kantaka or akantakanam. So, at 3 kara distance, water should be definitely be present. So, this is the formation of a tree. By the look of the tree, you can find out the presence of water. Vrikshaha eka shaka, vrikshasya eka shaka, only one branch. Yadi vinata bhavati pandurava syat vijnatavyam shaka agratale neeram tripurusham tu. So, if one sights a tree with a branch bent down, or if it has turned pale, if the branch, one branch turns very pale in color, water could be present at the end of the bent branch at 12 cubits depth when dug. So, suddenly a bent branch, very much bent and pale in color, can denote the presence of water under the bent branch of the tree. Pala kusuma vikaro yasya tasya purve shira tribihi hastaihi bhavati purushaihi chaturbihi pashanadaha kshitihi pita. So, here also we come across some changes that should be noted in the plant or tree. When one finds a change in the appearance of fruit or flowers to the east of the tree, where you note the changes at 3 hands distance, springs will be found. If yellow soil is present under a rocky area, then at the depth of 6 purusha, water should be present. So, any change in the appearance of fruits or flowers will denote the presence of water to the east of the tree at 3 hands distance. So, you will have to observe the tree very carefully. Even if you see a tree, you will have to observe the morphological features of the tree to find out whether there is any change in the tree, and that will denote the presence of water. Then we come to another interesting tree. Yadi kantakahina syad nidikdikaka shubhra pushpa samyukta tasyaha tale ambu vachyam tribihi narehi ardhapursheva. So, if you find a nirdikdika tree and if the tree is bereft of thorns, if there are no thorns on the tree or the plant, or with white flowers, it can have no flowers at all or have white colored flowers, then underneath the plant water will be present in 3 or half a purusha depth, that is 2 cubits and 6 digits. Nirdikdika tree is not something exorbitant, it is our brinjal plant. So, it belongs to Solanaceae and Solanum species. It is also known as Kantakari because it has thorns all over, and it is a special species of Solanum where it bears small thorns on that, and this is a species where you do not see any thorns at all and no purple flowers, and it will have only white flowers. So, even if it is a Nirdikdika tree, it should have no thorns and it should have white flowers, and then underneath it you will have lot of water. This is the Solanum plant Kantakari. You can see the small spikes on that because I could not get one without the thorns. So, this species is with thorns, but it does have a white flower. This is a white flower variety of Kantakari. Imagine that it does not have any thorns. Then we come to date palm. Karjuri Dvishiraska yatra bhave jalavivarjita deshe yasyaha paschima bhage nirdeshyam tripurushai vari. So, if a date palm Kharjuri tree is twin headed Dvishiraska, it must have 2 heads or stands in a place devoid of water. So, naturally date palms are in desert, but you can see an oasis if you see a date palm, but here the author says that the place is devoid of water, and to the west of the twin headed date palm water will be found at the depth of 3 purusha, that is approximately 13 cubits. So, now we come to the Karnikara tree. Yadi bhavati karnikarah sita kusumah syat palasha vriksho va savyena tatra hastadvaye ambu purushatraye bhavati. So, if a Karnikara or palasha tree bear white flowers, see, we in the previous slides also we came across white flowers. So, white flowers is a significant change that these trees have to denote the presence of water. Towards the left of it at 2 hands distance and at the depth of 3 purusha, water should be present, that is in 15 cubits water should be there. If you see a Karnikara tree or a Palasha tree which have white flowers. I have shown you Palasha trees before. So, let us see the Karnikara. Karnikara is Pterospermum species. Look at the white flowers, and if you see these flowers, it is Karnikara tree and the presence of water will be there. Now, we come to the type of soil which is slightly different from what we saw before. Ushma yasyam dhatriam dhumova tatra vari narayugale nirdeshtavya cha shira mahata vari pravahena. When the soil is hot or emanating steam, even in the desert soil does not emanate steam, but if you see steam coming out from the soil, Then at 2 Purusha depth, that is 9 cubits, a spring with an abundance of gushing water can be seen. There will be Vari Pravaha. The water will be gushing out, flowing. Copious water can be seen naturally because the soil becomes hot and the water bed underneath the soil gets hot, and that is the reason steam is coming out of the soil. Water turns steam and it comes out of the soil. So, there must be some water spring there. Yasmin kshetro deshe jatam shashyam vinasham upayati snigdham atipanduram va mahashira narayuge tatra. In a region where one finds the crops dying or the foliage turning smooth and very pale, at 2 Purusha depth there will be copious great spring. So, in any place if you find all the plants dying or the foliage turning snigdha, smooth, the foliage will be glossy and smooth and very pale. Then if you see that at 2 Purusha depth there will be copious great spring, Mahashira. It will be a huge spring there. Then again we are talking about the desert. Here the author says that he will enumerate the presence of springs, and he will give the following account. Marudeshe bhavati shira yatha tata atah param pravakshyami griva karabhanamiva bhutala samstha shira yati purva uttarena piloho yadi valmikah jalam bhavati paschat uttara gamana cha shira vigneya panchabhihi purushaihi. So, the author says the spring will surge forth like the trunk of an elephant tapering from the base of the ground. So, at the base it will be broad and it will taper as it goes up, as it springs up. If there is a yellow colored ant hill, to its northeast there will be water. Then the spring flows towards the north at the depth of 5 Purusha. The spring will be like the trunk of the elephant tapering from the base from the ground, and if you see a yellow colored ant hill, to its northeast there will be water and the spring flows towards the north. The vein of the spring will be going to the north at a depth of 5 Purusha. Let us summarize today's episode. The episode started with the presence of Kadamba tree and continued with Tala, coconut, Ashmataka Badari, Vetivira, Durva grasses and so on. The presence of tortoise and the Nirdikdika plant with trees having strange appearances like bent down branch with pale foliage or with changes in the fruits or flowers etc. denote water springs there. Then we saw many species of trees with their pictures. They were introduced in this episode, which informed the presence of water. The quality of water was also discussed in this episode. Now coming to the questions. How does the quality of water change with the color of the soil? Name a few trees and the presence of water and in which direction these springs can be found. Where is the tortoise found, denoting the presence of water? What does a twin-headed date palm signify? When the steam emanates from the earth, where do we find water? With this, we come to the close of today's episode. Dhanyavadaha.